Looking forward.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday, and we've got a great show lined up for you all today. My sister in broadcasting is waiting in the green room to hang out so we can chop up some more end of year stuff. I tell you, I've been telling people about, being ready going forward in 2024. Don't wait till we get there. Start thinking about it ahead of time. So we're going to chop up some of that kind of stuff today. So before we get to that, I want to give a shout out. I give a shout out each and every time. And I'm really exceptionally excited about my shout out because I actually talked to a young lady from Kenya, and I kind of asked her what she liked about my show. And she spoke about the opening shout out as something that she grabs hold to and understood where I was going with it. So I'm even more determined now with my shout out than ever before. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years, and he is my mentor. And the reason why I talk about Dr. Hunt and my mentor because it's important to have a mentor. Dr. Hunt has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. And I encourage every person that tunes in for the first 2-3 seconds of my broadcast to understand that this is going to always be the message. Get a mentor. Get somebody that you can trust that can help you navigate through life. If you don't get nothing else out of my broadcast, get that message. Get that message out the opening gate of the door, the first 60 seconds. They say the first 60 seconds is the most powerful 60 seconds of your broadcast. Understand the value of a mentor. How about that? And then I encourage you to get a show so that you can give your mentor a shout out. Okay? I want to invite you guys to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want you to notice that you can see the live broadcast in real time. In real time, you're able to watch every broadcast in real time right there on the website. Just click watch live. Then the next thing I want you to notice is that you can see all of my advertisers, whether they be a banner or a flyer. You have the ability to click on any one of them and you will be able to see what they do. I'm going to talk about these few. RRJ Web. If you have a broken website, somebody that said, no, your website ain't working right, and you have paid the bill and you just don't know what to do, call RRJ Web. RRJ Web can fix all of your broken websites and can help you create a website. So if you're interested in creating something that's in your head that you want to send out to the World Wide Web, he's the person that can help you do. Okay? So definitely reach out to RRJ Web. They can help you fix what's going on with your website. All right. Sir Synergy. If you are interested in finding out all the information you can about solar panels, you definitely want to go over to Sir Synergy. They are doing energy assessments, helping people understand the importance of how solar panels can help you save money, for your home and business. So definitely reach out to Sir Synergy so that they can help. Okay. The next one I want to talk about is Port Again Sam. Now, Port Again Sam has been with me for close to 15 plus years, and he brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. And I promise you, if you reach out to Sam, you can schedule a wine tasting and you can find your new wine or cognac that you have never ever had before. So definitely reach out to Port Again Sam so he can help you find your new favorite wine. And last but not least, I want to talk about the Prince Hunter Financial Group. Now, the Prince Hunter Financial Group is helping people to understand the stock market as well as the Forex market. Now, when you talk to Prince Hunter Financial Group, if you have no prior experience at all about the stock market, he is the person to help you understand and navigate how the stock market works. Now, I tell you, going forward in this new year, you might want to make that your bucket list item. I want to learn about the stock market. Well, here at this show, we're going to help you out. For anybody that reaches out to the Prince Hunter Financial Group and you tell them that you have heard about this advertisement on this show, he is offering 4 free classes. 4 free classes. That way you can start your learning process about the Forex market and the stock market and be able to make money to be able to help your family grow what they used to call generational wealth. This is a good way to do it. It's a good place to start. So you definitely want to go over there to the Prince Hunter Group, click on the banner. If you click on any of the banners or flyers, it'll take you directly to their website. Okay? So now, as I said a little while ago, I am so honored and privileged to have this media mogul come back and be with us again because she is all of that and stay busy. Now, this woman is up when the chickens and the roosters get up at the crack of dawn, and she's always at it. I mean, every day. She don't leave no hours on the table for the day. She's out there at those news broadcasts and anything, all the events across the city. She's out there. She's a women's activist, so she does all of the women's shows all across the country, and I say, and the world, okay, because she's out there. She's covering it. She got people, I mean, I just can't even describe it all. She's been on the show many times before, and I just want to tell her, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you so much. Oh, I hope I don't freeze. I'm trying to close all my windows here so I don't have
Yeah,
my
you got
so,
shows going on all over the place right
and let me
now.
close everything.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
Yeah, 'cause I see you freezing up over there.
yes,
Yeah.
so let me get rid of everything that's open. Yes, we have been quite active, and I'm grateful for the wonderful team that I have. First of all, a fantastic team of women that are with us every day on our daily show, The Female Solution, which is Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. And we are on multiple platforms: Blog Talk Radio, Podbean Radio, On Air Radio Network. We're also on Facebook and YouTube, multiple channels. And we get an opportunity to teach. And of course, people can go to our website, thefemalesolution.com, to see the whole lineup of all of the wonderful women that are constantly raising consciousness about all kinds of issues, from be it personal health and well-being to relationships to political awareness to social interaction and how to raise your children, how to raise yourself, and how to make life better for others. We deal with environmental issues. We've dealt with an extensive shows on the war issue, which is hurting a lot of people, even though it's maybe not in our backyard, but it's affecting us because we're one global family. And that's what we always remind our listeners and viewers, is that there is no separation anymore. The internet has made us one global village. So what affects one affects all. If there's anything the coronavirus taught us, is that if your neighbor's air is poisoned, pretty soon you're going to be coughing too. So you don't want to poison your neighbor's air because you're killing yourself. So we're figuring out that there isn't any place that we can go and cause pain and suffering without it coming back to us at some point. And
Absolutely.
this is why we're constantly keeping people informed. Our YouTube channel, the is part of our on-air TV network, which will be launching actually a TV network in 2023. We're downloading as we speak many of the shows that have been informative, inspiring, motivational, and inspirational, and getting people to see they really have the power to create the kind of world they want to live in. The power is in our hands. We need to stop seeing ourselves as helpless victims, because we are not. And
Absolutely.
so our show, The Media Connection TV show, is on YouTube. That's the news channel where we're out there interviewing, capturing the press conferences, the town hall meetings, and all of the governmental issues that everybody's affected by. And of course, we also give people a chance to, like yourself, to be heard on our shows. We're always interviewing those newsmakers and presenting those newsmakers and those communicators who have a message, because we want the people who are helping to change minds to be the dominant voices that are influencing how we shape our culture. So thank you
Absolutely.
for producing Ask Dr. Ron.
Thank you. You're so sweet. You know, I'm gonna get you in trouble right now.
Uh,
Out of all that you do, who would you say is your favorite show? I know you got so many. So see, I told
mhm.
you, I see that look on your face.
Now, I'm going to tell you what my favorite show was, and it's a show that we did with.
No, no, not one show, but I'm talking about what program, which one? Because you
Oh,
got the Women's
which,
Solutions,
oh,
which
okay.
I ain't talking about an individual show.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about the which one of do you, it really turns you on in the morning to get up and say, "Oh, I got the Women's Solution today." You know,
Well, I do love the female solution, in the sense that, like I said, I have a great team of hosts, women from literally all over the world. We recently add one of our hosts on Tuesday from China, and
mm,
she's an international businesswoman, and her show Shop with Jody, Shop with Zoe, and that's Zoe, Zoe. Shop with Zoe. uh, our newest associate, Zoe Ma, has really been an asset in helping us to see beyond our borders and to realize that it's really business and commerce that keeps the peace. If we're buying and selling and trading from each other, we're not fighting each other, because we got to be able to get along. And if we're
that's
all
true.
creating products and providing services that help enhance each other's lives, we're not going to be enemies. So we don't need to fear each other. So, we get a chance to learn a bit about the other side of the world. We've got a host from London, England, that every first Saturday of the month, Jana, and her show Success Strategies with Jana. It really kind of, pardon me, helps us to understand the process of changing the way we talk to each other, so that rather than us be unkind, be rude, be fearful, be vengeful, if we would just listen to how we speak to each other and try to find a commonality, we really can solve all our problems. And she's been wonderful in giving us again another global perspective. We've got hosts from down in Georgia, from down in Florida, and of course here in Chicago. And it helps to remind us that the time is now, whatever the time is, even if we're talking to somebody halfway across the world or 17 hours ahead. uh, got a travel agent, uh, move around with Deborah. Her show is one that helps prepare people to travel abroad and not be afraid and to just know the mechanics of it. Get yourself organized. Our Monday host, she did her show live from Jamaica. Of course, she's traveling and showing us that even though there might be strife where we live, there's peace down in Jamaica and there's a whole different atmosphere. And we can bring that same spirit here if we choose to. So she was wonderful to share her experience. And then, of course, our Thursday host is a therapist.
So basically, you just can't pick just one
they
as a
they all do
favorite.
some fabulous things. Our Friday and
Yeah,
Sunday host, she's a life coach and does some
yeah.
great things. And whether it's yoga in the morning or whatever the case may be. So all of them have something special. All of them are sharing something,
So
and it gives me
so
a chance to just listen because I don't have to. I don't have to always be on the mic and be in front of the camera. Sometimes I can just listen to the wisdom that they're sharing. So I enjoy that show. Of course, I do enjoy my
absolutely,
show, The Media Connection, because that's my political activist side where I get out and get among the people. And I think the last live thing we did was the town hall meeting by Congressman Jonathan Jackson, which approached a very controversial thing. I know you've heard about the whole issue with the migrants, and that has been such an extreme, distressing situation, not just for the people who migrated, but the neighborhoods where they are being forcibly housed,
right.
to the resentment of the residents. But it's a result of a global policy. It's a result of crime and violence happening in another country. People are fleeing from it. So this again points out we're one global village. We can't have strife somewhere and it not touch us. So now Venezuela has been a place of strife. Even though we might ignore it, now it's been tossed into our backyard. And so it led
Absolutely.
to a situation, and I'll talk about it later, that we highlighted on our daily news site, on air daily news. We reported on a fire of a very historic building, the Swift Mansion. And as we did an investigative report, our news team went out, interviewed people, and we found a story that might connect that fire to the immigrants, to that whole issue, because the owners of the building were preparing the structure to house the migrant, I can't say workers because they're not working yet, but in doing so, the reconstruction, we don't know if that was caused of faulty wiring. We don't know what the situation was. We don't know if it was arson, but we do know that there were people that were housed there. They weren't homeless, but they were paying very low rent, and they were being evicted so that the migrants could come in and the owners could get paid more money for housing them. And so once again, we got
Another
conflict because of the
suspicious
situation.
situation.
Yes. So we did an
Yeah,
extensive report
absolutely.
on that on our on-air dailynews.com daily news website. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
it once
yeah.
again,
Well,
it
yeah. It makes you wonder. One of them things that make you go, uh huh.
yes.
You know, and I totally agree. I don't know if you caught what I said in the very beginning. I, you know, we talk in the marketing, in the media and the things that we do. Like my show is only an hour,
Mhm.
but people that are surfing and doing things, you only got 30 seconds to put something on them or 60 seconds to put something on them that they can move and carry with them. It might hit them later, like, wow, you plant a seed.
Mhm.
So, one of the first things that I always do in the beginning of my broadcast is talk about my mentor
Mm.
and how he has been a blessing to me, for 30 plus years. And I encourage people to get a mentor, someone that can help them, through whatever's going on in their life with their families, whatever the situation, and allow them to be able to understand the value. And I push this every show. I do 4 shows a week, shameless plug. 4 shows a week. I ain't doing 29 like you are. Four. That's all I got. 4 shows a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I put it out there 4 shows a week. And a young lady that reached out to me from Kenya. And that young lady, I just, communicating with her, I asked her the question, well, what did you think about my shows? And the one thing that reached out to her was just that opening statement that stuck with her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been, and that's, if that's what stuck with her, that encouraged me even the more to keep pushing that out there. I don't need to be your mentor. You need to find one, because there's somebody in your space that's probably been waiting to occupy that mentor's space in your job, in your heart, so that you can have someone that can be there to help you through the good times, through the bad times, and be a blessing to you as only a mentor can.
Yeah.
So, with all you do, I applaud you. If don't nobody else say it, I appreciate you and all that you do. We're getting down to the end of the year. This is the end of 2023. And I have been telling people that if you haven't got it done, and by now, ain't no sense of stressing yourself about it. We are on the 12th day of the 12th month. We ain't got that much more time left in this year. Notice I use my vernacular. We ain't got.
We ain't got.
So we
Oh,
need to
yeah.
be looking ahead to 2024 and trying not to bring baggage from 2023 into 2024 that can be a hindrance from you being able to get the most out of 2024 starting out. I'm saying you hit the ground running. I always tell people, whether I do a New Year's Eve show or not, but I always, the first show that I do in the new year, I always like to encourage people to be excited about 2024 because we made it. First of all, let's start there. We made it to 2024. And the fact that we have made it to 2024 means that there are blessings that have been placed in time for you that you could not get until you got to 2024 in order to get them. Okay, so whatever that you didn't get in 2023, that's okay. You passed it. You missed it. You blew right past it. Okay? You was moving so fast you didn't even see it. Dang, I missed my blessing. Like people be driving so fast on the expressway and miss their exit and then want to
Exit.
cross over, go cross over 4 lanes of traffic and almost kill 5 people,
Right.
in 5 different cars because they missed their exit. Okay, they in the wrong
Come
lane.
on,
They missed
right.
their exit. you know, you know, and now you got to go past it because you didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So time is the same thing. We blew past 2023, and whatever you didn't get is too late.
Yeah.
So now you have to focus on trying to look around you in 2024 and say, is that my blessing? Slow down long enough so you can ask yourself that question. Is that my blessing? Is that for me? Or is that for me? Oh, that one for you and this one for me. You got to be able to recognize your blessings when you see them. And blessings can come in any manner of, form or fashion, but just understanding to know that you got some stuff coming.
Yes. Yes.
And I say stuff because I don't know what it is, and you may not know what it is, but some stuff with your name on it,
Mm.
you know. So I always want to try in the beginning of the year to put that out there, you know, so that people know. Because some people gonna come out this year with some disappointment.
Mm. That is
You
true.
know, like, dang, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. Well, I'm gonna say it like this: hell, I'm 66 years old, and it's a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't get a chance to do, and I made it to 66. So hey, some stuff just ain't gonna happen.
Well, you look at how we see time, and usually you don't figure this out until you're at the end of your time. That what are you rushing for?
Right,
Life is to be experienced. There isn't a goal. It's a journey, just like if you're on vacation. You're
right,
enjoying the vacation, you're enjoying the interaction, you're enjoying the experience. You're going to dinner so you can enjoy the food. You're not trying to rush through it so you can hurry and finish. No, you're enjoying the experience of eating. So we're enjoying life, whatever it is you're doing. So if we are setting these goals where I have to get this done at this time or I'm a failure, that's ridiculous. We have to change how we look at time, because whatever time we have and whatever we do in that time, we are successful. Like you said, you made it to 66 and you still have time to enjoy your life experience. A lot of people's
absolutely.
time was up this year. So they're not going
Yes,
to be continuing their physical life expression into
right,
2024. So as long as you're having this time, this opportunity to enjoy the presence of your friends, your family, your associates, your career, whatever it may be, or your aspiring career if you're working towards it, enjoy the process of working towards it. Enjoy the process of creating. Enjoy the process of experiencing. And stop thinking that life has to be a goal. It isn't a goal, it's an experience. And whatever you're doing, you're successful because you're still here. And even if you transition, that's not a failure. You didn't
it's just
lose a battle
hey,
and die.
right,
You transitioned. You finished your temporary experience, and now
and
you're
now,
transitioning
yep,
back to spirit, and you're going to continue your experience elsewhere. It's no
absolutely.
failure. So
You
enjoy.
can't lose.
You can't.
So no, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is, I think, it fits right here in the conversation. I was talking to someone this week, and they were sharing with me that in the upcoming year they're gonna have a milestone called a birthday where they turn 50.
Ah,
And I said, of course, me being the witty person that I am, I said, once you reach 50, you're going to realize that there's some stuff that you ain't going to give a damn about no more. Because when you turn 50, you're going to realize that some of that stuff that might have been a priority or an issue prior to 50 that you wanted to do before you got to 50, you ain't going to care.
you know,
and
it's true. That's
you
true.
know,
And
and
one of those things that I've discovered after 50, you stop caring about what other people think. That all that's
woo,
gone.
come on now.
You don't care. I mean, there's nothing you can think, say, or do that changes the reality of who I am. So why am I caring what you
Right,
think? And
exactly,
once you get rid of that, so many things change. Your inner
absolutely.
peace, your tranquility, because you're not living to please other people's expectations. You're not
Absolutely.
living for other people's approval. You're living truly to enjoy the life experience yourself.
And every
And
day
nobody
that you
else's
have,
nobody else's opinion matters.
absolutely. And I say by the time you get 60, it's even going to be more
Oh, for
stuff you
real.
ain't going to give a damn about.
Absolutely. I can attest to that for sure. I mean, you stop even asking people what they think because it doesn't matter. You're
Exactly.
going to do what you want to do anyway because it's your life.
Exactly.
And you realize
Exactly.
this is my life. I'm not going to waste it trying to
It's my
conform to somebody
story. I
else's
get to,
ideas of what
I
I should
look,
be.
it's my story. I get to tell it my way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a wisdom that comes with age if you take time to reflect on what you learn. Now, if you didn't take time to think about it, like you say, when you got 50, if you didn't reflect on them first 50 years, you're going to see yourself making the same mistakes over and over and over again into your old age. That means
Yep.
you were not looking, you were not listening, you were not paying attention, you were not learning from your mistakes, which probably means you weren't admitting that you made mistakes. Because you gotta
Absolutely.
be able to look at your life and
Yeah.
assess the things that you did that brought joy and the things that you did that brought pain. Pain is not a bad thing. Pain just directs you to another direction. If something hurts, that means you shouldn't do it. So,
Right.
if your body's hurting, then there's something that's out of whack, out of alignment, out of balance, and you need to fix it. If
Right.
emotionally you're hurting, you know that there's something that is out of balance with your thinking, your behavior, maybe your choices of friends, whatever it is, but you should not be suffering through life. So if you look back on your decisions, maybe there were some relationships that ended badly, maybe there were some friendships where there was some betrayal, some disappointments. Okay, reflect on that. Reflect on the decisions that you made that led to those unpleasant experiences and figure out what you need to do differently. Don't wallow in it. Don't be angry. Don't hold on to grudges. Don't try to get vengeance. Learn the lesson so that you can have wisdom. So by age 60, you're living with ease because you're not repeating the same mistakes.
Absolutely. You know, I told my son, and I use myself as an example. I told him this story about every 10 years in my life, I had what most folks would call a midlife crisis. So at 19, 29, 39, I took a moment before I hit that whole number, the zero that's coming up next. And I began to look where I'm at, what I wanted to do before I got to this point, what I did when I got to this point, and what I did going forward from this point. Now, fortunately for me, I did not go out and buy a little red sports car trying to prove my manhood. That did not happen for me, you know. But I was able to be able to give him the wisdom of self-reflection
Mm-hmm.
because you want to do that. Like you want to be able to say, okay, at whatever age you are in your life, if you ain't made it to that five number in that time bracket, like 25, 35, because at that point you're on the downside of that time bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now what are we gonna do to make sure when I get to that nine number again, whatever that nine number is, 19, 29, 39, I can look ahead and say, okay, I ain't had such a bad life after all.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to have encouragement.
Yes, you do.
You got to have encouragement for yourself. Now, I can do this all day long, because I am that person. I like to try and give people the opportunity to be able to, think about moving ahead. And this is some of the blueprint, the groundwork that you want to do for self. going ahead. You mentioned something earlier in the conversation about teaching people how to be better parents. Me, I'm old school. I believe in beat the hell out of them, because, my parents beat the hell out of me. Okay. And I
I'm
know,
glad you
look,
brought that up.
look, I already know where you going with this, but I know that you have written books on this. You have studied this extensively. I always got to tell this story because I called my mama one day, and it's so crazy. I said I was sitting in a seminar
Mm-hmm.
with a room full of social workers, and they were talking about what the definition of what child abuse was. Okay, and I came out that seminar, and I called my mama.
Mm-hmm.
I was in New Orleans, Louisiana. She was in Chicago. And I said, you child abused me? And her words were, so?
You weren't looking for an apology, were you?
Nah, I was just wanted to let her know I knew what the meaning of child abuse was.
You're like,
I was trying,
and
yeah, right. She said, so? I think you turned out okay. I said, it depends on,
which
what
called
side of that abuse you on. I was like, I don't know if I'm okay or not. Listening to these folks, I might be traumatized. I'm going to come back tomorrow and find out. So I always start out talking about, child abuse and the definition of how it affected me, if I was affected by it,
mm-hmm.
to help lead into, what you do as a new evolutionary process to deal with young people and the trauma that we've been exposed to as people of color, black, African Americans, depending on what you go by this week, because depending on who you talk to, you could go by either one of those. Brown, you can get a new gender not gender but color characteristic depending on who's speaking.
That's true.
And if you get caught up in that, God bless you, but I don't. So go right ahead. Queen, tell us what we need to be doing to our children, because I'm still gonna beat my grandkids. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
And they will remember that as they are the ones taking care of you when you are old and
Oh, you
in
had to go there,
a
didn't you?
wheelchair and wetting your pants. They're going to remember how you
Ooh,
them.
you had to
So
go there,
for
didn't you?
those around, please around, keep that in mind.
Look, let me tell you what my son did. Now, this is so funny. My son came back on me one time. He was 17 years old, about to be 18, and I was really hard on him because that's the age where they really think they're grown and they know more than you.
Mm-hmm.
17, about to be 18. He said, "Wait till you get old, and I'm gonna ship you off to South Dakota, the coldest state in the United States, because I know you don't like cold. I'm
Oh,
shipping you out to South Dakota for you
just
to
letting you know.
stay there in that wintertime, and suffer." And I was like, boy, you are never going to have that opportunity.
At least he's giving you fair warning.
Yeah, I know not to trust him. But that was so funny you said that about the grandkids.
Oh yeah. Well, and really, there's a reason why our creator designed it so that those we take care of will one day take care of us. Because we do need to understand that universal principle that you reap what you sow.
Right.
So, our responsibility is to evolve us. We can create.
You are breaking up so badly, I can't hear words you're saying. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Parenting with Peace class.
Hello? You had broke up
Uh-oh.
real bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'd like to do, if you don't mind? Can we just reconnect? because for
Yeah.
some reason I want people to hear every word that you are saying, and you broke up very badly during that segment right there. So I'm gonna hang up and let you call me back. How about that?
All right. We'll see if we can get a better connection.
Yeah, because I don't want people to miss a word. I want them to be able to hear every word that she is saying because she has written books on this, have taught classes on this subject, and for the year 2024, we want people to go forward in 2024 with knowledge and power. There you are. You're back.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, it seems to be. So we're
Now
gonna leave
it's
it right
freezing a
there
little
and
bit.
keep our fingers crossed. That we don't miss a word you're saying this time. So say that again. The parenting class. What? Start
Yes.
from there.
Yes, we are launching Parenting with Peace. It's an online parenting class, and it's part of our New Earth Homeschool Academy. We've got an online school where we'll be teaching a number of classes, all designed to change thinking and empower people to change the reality that they're creating with their thoughts and actions. So, this first class, Parenting with Peace, it really helps to undo a lot of the misguidance that we have received because we've been passing on bad parenting styles and behaviors for generations. The first book that, uh, well, my husband and I, we were a team in terms of writing. In our first book, Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma, dealt specifically with the African American experience and the fact that we're still carrying the trauma of an experience of being removed from our cultural base, but also removed from a sense of more than just identity, of being worthy of respect as human beings. And when you grow up with the idea that you are not worthy of respect, you don't believe you're worthy of respect. And you also don't really know how to respect others. So
Mm-hmm.
the violence with which we were suppressed, we transferred that to the way we raised our children, beating them into submission and believing that's what you're supposed to do as a parent, as opposed to knowing that you're supposed to guide them and prepare them just like a mother bird prepares her children to fly away from the nest and soar as high as they can. We're preparing our children to live in fear and self contempt because that's what was done to us in order to suppress us into the kinds of human beings that could be forcibly enslaved and kept in a state of fear. So we have to unlearn that programming. But then, as time went on, of course, you realize that there also was some emotional damage in the people who perpetuated that system. They had
Mm-hmm.
extreme low self esteem because they were coming out of an oppressive, repressive system, the feudalist system, the system of the extremes of classes, one over another, the poor, the peasant class, the debtor's prison, and all of those repressive, the public floggings. So people who have been abused become abusers. All
Mm-hmm.
they did was turn it into an international business. And so all of us have been damaged emotionally, psychologically, and even physically. But it's not just the American experience, it's also the human experience. You can go from continent to
Mm-hmm.
continent to continent, and you see a repeat of the same story of one group cruelly oppressing another.
Absolutely.
Why are we doing this? It's learned behavior. And every
Yes.
spiritual master who has been born among us and been raised up among us and set a good example, everyone tried to teach us that the basis of our society has to be love, not greed. How can I get more than you? Not fame. How can I be more important than you? Not power. How can I have control over you? But love. How can I be
All
of
right.
service to you? That's how you have an orderly society that is safe, secure, and peaceful. Every spiritual master that has come among us has tried to teach that lesson and demonstrate it. We've been so hard headed and not learning because we keep believing that you can do things by fear and force, and that doesn't work. And we have suffered and suffered and suffered and suffered trying to make it work. So, what we're doing with the Parenting with Peace class is really getting to the root. How do you raise a child? And it's a 12 lesson course, but it starts out with a person's own self examination. And like you say,
Mm-hmm.
well, I got spanked as a child. I turned out all right. Well, the reality is none of us turned out all right. All of us have
Yeah.
some severe
Trauma.
trauma. We have everything from self-esteem issues, problems with ego, problems with fear, jealousy, resentments. We have all kinds of things inside of us because we were raised to believe that we were defective and that we can only receive love if we correct our defects. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
parenting that reflects the spiritual reality, the teachings that all of the great spiritual masters, doesn't matter which one you follow, has demonstrated is that love is unconditional. I don't only love you if you're pretty enough or if you're smart enough or if you
Light skin enough, or
yes, light skin enough, hair the right color or dark skin enough. Whatever it
right,
is,
right,
you are a soul inside this body. You are a reflection of the divine energy of creation we call God. You are worthy to be loved. So we
absolutely,
examine even the belief system that you live by. And if you're living by any belief system that says you're born in sin, you're a filthy rag, you're not worthy, all of those conditioned mindsets are destructive. And you have
right,
to have the courage to let them go because you can't be a fit parent until you let go of that because that's the impetus that makes you hit a child. Why
right,
are you beating someone who is in your care for you to guide? Because you're
right,
thinking incorrectly. You're giving them motives they don't have. Oh, you're disrespecting me. You're being disobedient. You're being hard headed. You need to be beat into submission. You need to know who's boss. All of these
right,
erroneous beliefs that we have about children have to first be corrected before we're fit to really be parents who can lovingly guide a soul to become the great soul that they came here to become.
absolutely.
So
I
it's
totally
a
agree.
really a reprogramming process. That's the first step. And there's a lot of people that will perhaps resist the idea that things need to change. Oh, I'm old school. Okay. Okay. We talked about wisdom earlier. If you can't honestly reflect on your life and see the points where you were in pain and realize you don't want to continue being in pain, then you're going to continue being in pain. Look at what
Right,
we have in our society. Look at the war. Look at the violence. Look at the cruelty, the mean spiritedness. Every single day you have to face somebody who's nasty, who's cruel. You go to a job, they're trying to figure out how to fire you because somebody else wants to try to take your job. All the meanness in our society. And you think we turned out all right? No, we didn't. Because if we
yeah,
turned out all right, we would not have any of this. We'd be able to live in peace. But
yeah,
since we're not, we have to fix what's broken inside of us. And when we do
absolutely,
that, then we'll stop beating our children, beating fear, anger, and hatred into them so that they go out and spread it in the world and we suffer because what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. Let's sow the right seeds so that the
absolutely,
next generation can be kind, loving, and compassionate people who create a world where all of us can live together in peace.
absolutely. I totally agree. Even though I have an analogy that I want to try and help um, co-sign on your teaching and where you're going, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in science, we understand there's in the creation process that when a man releases sperm into a female, there is anywhere up to 1 million sperm released,
Mm-hmm.
but only one of them can reach the place where it can impregnate a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that 1 million sperm race. It's a race. And once that sperm gets to the egg, then it has to fight and struggle to be the one to victoriously impregnate that female.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at that point, when that sperm enters into that egg, it is the best and the most powerful that the universe has to offer. So now, through the process of impregnation, they struggle through whatever the mother's going through, and then still has to come to this side of life in order to struggle some more. But they have more freedom in them as an infant to be able to be any and everything that they want to be
Absolutely.
until you now take that child and put fear, you put insecurities, you put warnings into them that create boxes for people to live paradigms. They call that paradigms.
Mm-hmm.
They create paradigms for that infant to grow up within until, unless something extraordinarily happens throughout their life in order to be able to overcome the don'ts and the do's and the don't do this and don't do that that infants are bombarded with. So, in essence, what I'm saying is everything that you said, just on a scientific level, that a child comes here with the comprehension level to be able to be the greatest that this world has ever seen. But because we beat it out of them, we poured nothing along the lines of love into them, and then we call it love, and then we wonder what's wrong with them. So I'm just co-signing what you
Yes.
just said.
And even the the way the one sperm becomes the one that impregnates the egg. If we look at, let's say, a marathon race, there's a runner.
Mm-hmm.
You got all the runners out there, and they're striving to be the winner, to be the one to hit the finish line first. But each one of those runners is actually helping the one who ends up winning, because that one who wins has to strive to be faster than all the rest. So, in a
Right.
sense, they're all working together for the one goal, and that is that the one that's the strongest may emerge. And that one who comes out first and maybe breaks a record and becomes the fastest person to run this marathon, their victory is based on them having the opportunity to overcome those who also were running. So everybody that's striving is actually helping whoever ends up in the lead to
Absolutely.
enhance the
The
topic,
motivation.
the
It's
yeah,
the
the
motivation.
motivation.
Look, because if you slow down, you ain't gonna make it, and I
Right,
am.
right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's a positive thing that we want, the as you say, the strongest sperm to be the one to fertilize the egg, because that's the one
Right.
that's got to go through the challenge of life, the challenge of going through that birth canal. You got to have strength. So all of these things are enhancing that person's ability to
To get
emerge
there,
from that womb with all of the necessary strength they need, because
they're the
they started out
best.
as the strongest one that
Right.
fertilized that egg. So yes,
That's
you're
right.
right. The person, the body that comes out of that woman has all the potential of the world for greatness. Why
Yes.
would we crush their spirit? Why are
Because
we doing that?
we don't know no better.
We don't know any better. So
Now
we
look,
have to learn that.
we got about 5 minutes before this. I mean, I didn't realize we didn't talk so much. But look, when can they find out about this class? Because I want them to really have the information. I know your website is up here,
Yeah,
Can they find out on your website how to get involved in the class, to
absolutely.
meet
Yeah,
you in person, to
yeah.
be able to say, "Hey, sign me up." They can do that there.
Yes, absolutely. They can go to, of course, thefemalesolution.com, and also my personal website, which has all of our various enterprises and everything on naimalatif.com, which, see right there. So that certainly will give them an update and give them an opportunity to sign up. And I'm also looking to start or restart my parenting classes at Cook County Jail, which we did uh, several years ago. But we want women who are either going to be giving birth, or who have given birth, or who are about to give birth again. We want them to have a different perspective and a different set of skills, so that they can be the ones that usher in this new earth, a place where we all live together in peace. And we can do that when we raise our children differently. That's the whole theme, even of the Female Solution global radio TV show every day. And all of our hosts are committed to that mission of raising consciousness so that we can change the world we live in and transform it to be the new earth. That's where we're going.
Absolutely, and I totally endorse that. You know, something else that I strongly believe in that I'm going to throw out here at this time is that we as men have to learn how to support our women, as well as
That's
women
another
have
whole show in itself.
women have to support men,
Yeah.
because men, we fall short on a lot of occasions, not being able to understand what the needs of our women are and being able to help them with those needs, and vice versa.
Well,
you
just
know
like just like parents have made mistakes in raising children, men teach other men how to be men, and men have taught other men very abusive ways of treating women. And as a result, we have what we have, this conflict. So instead of us being loving partners, we become adversaries, and we
Absolutely.
create the mess that we're living. We
Yep.
made this mess, men and women. So when we change how we treat each other, everything will change.
Absolutely. And we need to be better examples.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Miss Naimah, I appreciate and I love you, and I'm not ashamed to say it publicly. Now, I got to go back and
Right here
clarify
on
something.
Dr. Ron.
Look, I got to go back and clarify something. I ain't going to beat my grandchildren, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. I always
I
say
can
that
feel the
just
sigh
as,
of relief coming from them. Oh, no,
yeah,
no, no grandpa
I
abuse.
always start
Good.
by saying that to be on the opposite end of the conversation, so to get her stirred up, So I'll be jump starting my sister over there.
Yeah. So,
But
so, so,
look,
so they won't have to send you off to Dakota now.
yeah, yeah. My attitude is this. I hope that I don't have to babysit them until after they get about 13 or 14. That way I can put some other stuff in them instead of dealing with them not having to
You gotta
change.
start early. That's when the bond happens. You have to start when they're
Well,
toddlers.
I want them to know who I am when they get grown, not when they babies and I got to clean Pampers.
That
I
that's
ain't
the,
trying.
that's the time to let them know who you are. Because if you
No,
wait till
no,
they
no,
get
no,
older,
no,
they don't
no.
care who you are. I mean, who are you?
Good,
Where you been? I don't
good.
know you.
I ain't cleaning no poop. Okay. So anyway,
That's part of
uh,
parenting.
look, two questions. We got a couple of minutes here. Two questions. I always ask this question. Um, will you come back and visit me again?
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thank you. And secondly, what would you like to leave with the people before we get out of here today?
Have belief that you can create the world you want to live in. Just like your thoughts and actions created the world that you may not want to live in, you can change your thoughts and actions and create the world you do want to live. Every single one of us has the power to do so. And you can start with your own household right now, today.
Absolutely. Now, one more question. I'm gonna throw a third one in there. What you doing for the New Year's? What's your big turn up?
I'm going to find somewhere that I can be of service, whether it's, I don't know, serving at a soup kitchen or bringing food and coats and clothes to some homeless. I'm going to find a way to feel like my life is making a difference in someone else's life. So I'll be looking to serve
Absolutely.
somewhere.
I'm gonna make sure you have my address to drop me a plate off. How about that? You know, I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Thank you so very much for coming and joining us on the show today. You are so powerful in the love and the spirit that you bring to the world, and I just encourage you and your crew to keep up the great work. Thank you. I love you. I mean it. I'm sincere.
I love you back.
Amen. All right, stay right there. We're going to end the show. I want to encourage you guys to come join me tomorrow afternoon. I'm sorry, I'm saying tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon, 12 noon. Street News Now. I'll be doing news commentary and updates on what foolishness is going on in the world. So definitely come and join me on tomorrow at noon. Also want to encourage you guys to join me each and every Saturday at 12 noon from the desk of Dr. Ron, where I tell you what's on my heart and what's on my mind. So come on out and check me out each and every Saturday at 12 noon. Also, each and every Sunday evening, I do my Black History Moment. So you guys don't want to miss me celebrating Black History 365 days out of the year. And I want to thank all those that have made contributions up to this point in time. These are all the areas where you can make contributions. Thank you so very much. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I love you guys for doing it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. While you're here, hit that subscribe button. Share it with somebody so that they too can be elevated to another level. All right, love you guys. See you guys on tomorrow at noon. You stay blessed, stay careful out there in the world, because the world is out to get you, and you got to be able to survive. All right, because I need y'all to show back up again. Peace and love. See y'all tomorrow.